This ain't Disney, this that crib dream. Witches fly where the shadows scream. Say goodbye to the light you found. You're now a ghost in Halloween Town. Welcome to Halloween Town, where the dead don't sleep. Witches in the shadows and the curses run deep. You can trick, you can treat, but you won't get out. Once you cross that line, there's no turning around. It's Halloween Town, where the monsters reign. Jack-o'-lantern grins hiding centuries of pain. So light that flame and spin that crown. You belong to the night in Halloween Town. Found a mask in a thrift shop, stitched in skin, put it on, took a hit, now the world's gone dim. Pumpkin glow through the mirror, then I slipped through the glass. Woke up face down in the graveyard of ash. Gargoyles perched on a bloodstained steeple. Benny driving by with a hearse full of people. Mayor got a grin, but his eyes ain't blinking. Offers me side, I know it's laced with something wicked. This ain't no kid flick, this is cursed dimension, where the spells hit harder than divine intervention. I see Marty on a throne made of bones and flame. So welcome home, Juggalo, now say your name. Welcome to Halloween Town, where the dead don't sleep. Witches in the shadows and the curses run deep. You can trick, you can treat, but you won't get out. Once you cross that line, there's no turning around. It's Halloween Town, where the monsters reign. Jack-o'-lantern grins hiding centuries of pain. So light that flame and spin that crown. You belong to the night in Halloween Town. Marty ain't sweet, she a death-born witch. Summoned up the ghosts of 1,000 snitched. Cromwell bloodline turned cold with rage, turned kids to wolves and lock souls in a cage. They say the town's alive, streets pulse and moan. Storefronts bleed and the clocks throw bones. I tried to run, but the sky went red. Heard my own name whispered by the living dead. Calabar's back as a cloud of smoke, whispering hexes while I nearly choked. But I spit one verse and broke that seal. Now the magic in my chest feel hella real. One by one they all fall down. A jester laughs in Halloween Town. Flesh turns wax and teeth turn black. If you hear that chant, you can't come back. The cauldron boiled, my fate was set, but I flipped the curse. Now they call me a threat. Tore down the manor with bars like fire. Now I wear that pumpkin crown, climbing higher. Skeletons dance when I snap my hands. I rewrote the script, now I rule these lands. Not trapped, I adapted, became the dark. Now the witches whisper when I walk through the park. Halloween ain't once a year, nah, it's a state. And I open the gate with a jug of fate. If you knock on the door, best come with sound, cause the party don't stop in Halloween Town. Welcome to Halloween Town, where the dead don't sleep. Witches in the shadows and the curses run deep. You can trick, you can treat, but you won't get out. Once you cross that line, there's no turning around. It's Halloween Town, where the monsters reign. Jack-o'-lantern grins hiding centuries of pain. So light that flame and spin that crown. You belong to the night in Halloween Town.
Welcome to the place where all the creatures meet. The last building on the left on the dead-end street. You find skeleton bones, abandoned homes. It's the hood of horrors, nigga, it's on. Welcome to the place where all the creatures meet. The last building on the left on the dead-end street. You find skeleton bones, holes and domes. It's the hood of horrors, nigga, it's on. There goes the neighborhood. There goes the neighborhood. There goes the neighborhood. There goes the neighborhood.
Everybody, it's your boy Hustler and Muscular, also known as H&M, dropping gems, stomping harder than a pair of Timbs. All right, how's everybody doing out there today? How's everybody doing? Glad you all could join me for this Sunday morning. But first, let's see who's all in the building. No one's come in yet, but okay. Here's the information for my Instagram so y'all can stay in touch with me for whenever I'm going live. Just to ensure y'all don't miss anything. I'll be sure to keep y'all posted on the gram at all times. And here's information for my Cash App. Anybody want to donate, feel free to do so. I'm always open to it. They're not necessary, but they are very much appreciated. Thank y'all for stopping by, and I appreciate the support that everyone's been giving me so far. Now, let me put this message out here for everybody that's just coming in.
Like, comment, and subscribe, because it's just what the doctor prescribed.
All right. Now, I just got one question for everybody out there.
The question is, are you ready?
And now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
That's right. Let's get ready to rumble. So today is just gonna be a open panel, quick reaction type video. You know, I started content creator, did a video, and well, you know, I had a lot to say on it. Yep, this is just going to be a chill and chat, open panel, quick reaction, for lack of a better term. Yep. If this go okay, then of course I want to say shout out to my girl Lucky Marie because she covered herself, and because I have to say on it, I just feel compelled to just my own reaction to it. Again, shout out to Lucky Marie, my lucky charm that would do me no harm. And you know she loves me and my study on and drives me wild at old McDonald's farm. Yep. Yes. All right then. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, here we go. Shout out to Lucky Marie. This one says, basic bitches stay African for 304 phase. Aisha Curry interview. Okay, for a little context on this, Aisha Curry is talking about how prior to marriage, she wished she had I'm going to say post-marriage, she wished she had went through a whole phase or some bullshit like that. And who knows, I may find other videos or do my own deep dive on this shit sometime in the foreseeable future. I may do my own take on this in the foreseeable future one day. I don't know. But I just felt like I had to cover this. Because I had a lot to say because a few months ago I did my own show talking about 304 culture and what you would call the whole phase. Did my own take on this some months ago back in the spring going into the summer. I talked about the whole 304 phase and how it's unhealthy for women and how it breaks them more so than it breaks men. Because when y'all think about it, men and women don't go through a 304 phase for the same reasons women do. Women go through a 304 phase mainly because they want to find out what they like, find out what they don't like, you know, bullshit like that. Men go through because they're bored, horny, just want to fuck around. And y'all notice how women often want to do some sort of spiritual healing after they've had their whole phase. You don't hear a lot of men saying that. So it begs the question, who's more affected by it? You know, I already gave my own opinion on it, and I'm also open to hearing other people's opinions on it. All right. Now, let's get into this video, shall we? Once again, shout out to Danica Marie. Crank up the volume a little bit here. All right, let's continue. Let's get started. Fair use.
What's up, y'all? Good morning.
Good morning,
Welcome
Lucky
to my
Marie.
channel. It's your girl, Lucky Marie. If you haven't, go ahead and hit the like button. We are here to chit chat, So I seen a video and I did see the Aisha Curry interview. I'm not sure if you guys seen it, but she did another interview, and every time she does interviews, it's almost like she gets shamed. So there was people reacting and they're saying, oh, she needs to go through a hoe phase. Anytime hoes start to talk, I think we should bop them over the head. But we're going to first get into this interview a little bit, look at some highlights as to what she said, and then we're going to get into it. All right.
Mr. Seth Curry, you
Yeah.
met him in high school?
Yeah. So I'm Canadian.
Okay.
So I grew up in Markham, Ontario. And I moved to the States at 14 to North Carolina. And that's actually where we met. He's one of the first people that I met in the States, but we just friends. Obviously, we were 14.
Right.
Went to the same church, shared the same friend groups at church. And then
Sound like a legitimate way to meet somebody if you ask me, but that's just my opinion. Fair use.
when I moved to LA, he Facebooked me.
Did he write on your wall, or it was like a private message?
No, it was a private message. Like, hey, who is that in the music video, in the picture that you're in? And I'm like, oh, it's Young Berg. And he goes, oh, I should have known. He always has all the sexy ladies. And I was
Wow.
like, what is happening right
like,
now?
You're like, Steph, I knew you said you're 14. I was 15. What are you trying to do right now?
At this time now, we're 19.
Okay.
18, 19. And so he goes, do you still live in LA? I'm here for a camp. Do you want to hang out? And I'm like freaking.
Shout out to what's her name? Almond Eyes. Shout out to you, Almond Eyes. Thank you for stopping by. I'm just here critiquing this video by YouTuber Lucky Marie talking about the Aisha Curry interview. Now, I don't know if you know anything about that, but what are your thoughts on Aisha Curry thinking that she should have went through a whole phase prior to marriage? And what are your thoughts on the overall concept of a whole phase? I know I did a show on this several months ago, but I'm open to other opinions. People who didn't watch that stream or saw the replay, I want other opinions on this. Should men and women go through a whole phase before they get married and settle down and get married? Well, or in this case specifically, women. What do you think? Almond Eyes, what do you think? All right, let's continue. Fair use.
Out because this guy, he was like the guy at church. Like all the girls loved him.
I thought you were going to say like in high
Well, it's a common fact that women are more attracted to men who have other women desiring them. I'm not saying a man that's fucked everybody. I'm just saying a man that's got other women checking for him, acknowledging him, yada, 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 stuff like that. But yeah, fear you.
school, like on the court. You're like, at
No.
church, he was the guy.
At church.
Was he the basketball guy in high school or no?
Apparently he was, but I genuinely didn't pay attention to that because I grew up in such an arts driven family
Mhm.
that sports outside of like Doug Flutie playing for the Buffalo Bills like it just wasn't a thing in my house. And so he said, so we made plans to hang out, and then I said, where are you staying? And he said, Anaheim. And I was like, I was like,
You're like, so you're coming to me because
She was so
at this
cute.
point, I still have the other jobs, like trying to pay the rent. Gas is expensive. So I was like, I'm sorry, I can't this time, but if you're ever back, let me know and we'll go hang out. And he's like, oh, I'm back in 2 weeks. And I'm like,
Okay.
oh my God.
you still in Anaheim.
And so, no, this time he was in Hollywood. So he stuck with it. He hit me up 2 weeks later. We hung out and we've literally been together since that day.
Okay.
Okay, Almond said absolutely not. There's no benefit. You talking about men or women or both genders? Just asking, but let's continue. Fair use.
Okay, hold on. You
Shout
go
out
and
to
you hang out with
Rooster.
him.
Mhm.
What is your
don't know when to
headspace?
shut
Are
the fuck
you
up, but
seeing
shout out
him in
to
like
him.
could this be something kind of way? Or are
No.
you like, no?
No, and this was like my first real date. So I was just nervous.
Hmm.
I was nervous. It was like years of having a crush. And then years, like I just never thought that he would someone like me. I just didn't think it was going to be a thing. I
You
thought
weren't a
we would
friend
be
group.
friends. Yeah.
So I guess she was a little uncertain about whether or not he would like her or not. Yeah, that seems kind of typical. I mean, come on. Oh, Almond Eye says it's for both. It's rooted in trauma. Well, it could be, but based on what I understand and seen from my own two eyes, I think women are more affected by it. Because let's face it, Men are programmed to want sex. They're programmed to want to explore and have options and be with other men. Other women, I'm sorry. But women, on the other hand, they're not programmed. They're not biologically programmed to be promiscuous. That's why it blows us when they are acting like this. A woman going through a whole phase and giving her vagina to multiple men leaves her with all sorts of trauma, and plus it makes it harder for her to pair bond with one man. Think about that. Think about taking a tape. Think about taking some Scotch tape, sticking it on one surface, taking it off, putting it on another surface, taking it off, and then putting it on another surface. Now all of a sudden it's unsticky. It becomes unglued and it's hard to stick to any other surface. That's what a whole phase can do to a woman. It makes her harder to stick to one guy because she's been glued and unglued to multiple men. It doesn't really affect men in the same manner. Just saying. Because as men, we can fuck a woman and not care at the end because it's just a physical release for us. It's just a physical release, but for y'all, it's some sort of emotional attachment. So you got all these different attachments that you have to attach and detach from, and that's going to make it harder for you to attach to one person. This is what, from what I understand, is scientific biological facts. Just saying, so don't bite my head off for saying this kind of stuff. Okay, Ammon also said her problem. Hold on, let me make this screen larger. It said her problem is he or she is a dime a dozen. So the type of guy she wanted wasn't mesmerized by her, but Steph was. Okay, so basically she's just a basic chick. In other words, she's a basic chick. Okay, ain't nothing wrong being a basic chick. Ain't nothing wrong with being basic. She also says for men, it makes them unable to exercise discipline, especially in a relationship, because they can't connect to any type of positive emotional level. Well, if the man never had no discipline to begin with, then yeah, that would make sense to say. But for those of us with some sexual discipline, then yeah, we can probably sleep around with just maybe a few handful of women and still be able to attach to one person. Again, it's a physical release for us, so there is little to no emotional attachments. Just saying. But I get what you're saying. I understand exactly what you're saying. That's why as men, dick discipline is very important. Don't go around here putting your dick in every goddamn thing that moves. Same thing with you women. Don't be giving your vajayjay to every man out there. Yeah, just saying. She said, yeah, almost all the females in NYC are light, bright with long hair. Wow. I never been to New York before, but good to know. All right, let's continue. Fair use.
Did you ever have anything in high school at all, or it was legit just friends?
No, just friends. Just friends.
Just friends, okay?
I get what you're saying. Like, you never saw him as something, but I'm like, when you look back, is there any memory that you're like, maybe there was something or
no?
I love how she explains how they met in high school. And I do want to keep that as a key component, because there is this running thing going around where women are encouraging or other women who've been with a man since high school or college, and they're saying, oh, you know, you've been with the same man for years and years and years. So what you're yearning for outside that keeps tempting you is the ability to be quote unquote outside. So I played this for a read. Let's just finish listening to it before we get into the juice.
Never. I had a friend over who had a crush on his brother at the time, and she decided to call him, and they were giggling, and then we're maybe like 15.
Really quick, make sure y'all hit the like button, comment.
Please do. Lucky puts out good content. Shout out to her. Shout out to my little Lucky Charm.
When you're done, just give me your thoughts. And also, if you are not a member, go ahead and join the membership. Become a part of a Lucky Charm.
I got
and I do have wonderful
already.
stuff I do post in my membership. And
I'm a member on Lucky's channel, but I'm gonna start unsubscribing to some of these memberships just so I can save money. Just saying. No disrespect to y'all, but I gotta save money. I'll still love and support the channel, but I gotta save money here. Okay, thank you. Fair use.
I'm gonna post some more this week, so make sure I check it out. But yeah, no artifacts. He says, do you think Stefan's mom was a bad influence? No, I don't. I honestly, I think everything around women is a bad influence. Everything influences women to be sexually promiscuous. So
ain't lying about that.
or just
Well, she
away
ain't lying
from
about
a
that.
family.
Whether it's music, whether it's what's going on in the outside world, whatever the fuck it may be, a lot of stuff. I mean, our society been sexualized for decades, 4 decades almost. Sexualization is nothing new. That's been going on since the 80s, 90s. It just got worse as we enter the 2000s and beyond. So that ain't nothing new. But I guess how we approached it may have changed, because when I was younger, I knew all that sex songs and video was just entertainment. I didn't take it too much to heart. But then again, I was a goody two-shoes growing up. So maybe y'all may feel differently. I knew how to separate the entertainment from the entertainers. You know, in real life, they probably don't act like this. But that was then, this is now. It ain't nothing new, but hey, I guess the approach was different. But okay, fair use.
Family, away from a relationship. So anything could be considered a bad influence if it's influencing you otherwise. You get what I'm saying?
At this time, and they put Stefan on the phone, and somebody said something about Canada, and so I was like, "Oh, I'm Canadian," and he's like, "Oh, do you like Canadian candy?" And I'm like, "I love Canadian candy," and so my aunt was coming into town from Canada, and so she brought some for me, and so I was like, "Oh, I'll bring you a bag to church the next time we're at church."
See, it was
So
meant to be. It was meant to be.
I bring the bag, and I literally, everybody's watching. I hand it to him, and I don't say anything to him. I just shove it and walk away. Like, that's how shy
Aisha.
I was.
She said she's shy. Okay.
And did you like him at all? Like, in your heart, you're like, oh, I wish I could. Yeah, it just wasn't. It was high school.
I thought he was so cute.
I mean, we've all been there, so I can't be too harsh on her. Just saying.
Okay, so fast forward, you go on this first date.
Yeah.
What are the vibes?
It was one of the best days of my life.
Did you always knew you wanted a big family?
No.
Here we go.
So I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be career girl, and that's it. And I had my eyes set on my goals. And I was never the little girl that like dreamt about the wedding dress and all of that. And then it happened so early in my life. So it's like, it's one of those things like you don't know what you actually don't know what you want.
It's so hard also to be the woman in a situation where you're like, men just don't get as much scrutiny. Like, they can maybe tell him like, your fucking shots suck tonight, but like the looks and all of that is just like not a factor of conversation as much.
No.
Did you talk to Steph about it? Like, or did you kind of keep it within yourself so it didn't?
I do not have a bone in my body that can keep anything to myself. So
damn, if something happened, you just tell it all, right? That's not good. You gotta keep some shit to yourself. Just saying.
Comes to mind, it's coming out. And he's so gracious. Like, he tries to resonate with me, but he just can't. Okay. And he also comes from a place of like, it's effing stupid. Like, it's not true. So why? And I'm like, but wait, like, listen to how
she is so adorable. I don't know. Why do you think people like to hate on her? Because if you just listen to what she's saying, what is she saying that's wrong? I think we have to like step out of situations and stop being so thirsty and just jumping into some shit and saying, oh my gosh, it made me feel this way. It's like, what made you feel this way? Her own husband understands who she is since high school.
Okay.
Like, what is it about her?
How it makes me feel. And he's like, but why does it make you feel like that? It's not real. After we got married, we found out we were pregnant with our daughters so quickly.
Quickly? Okay.
I didn't even have time to think about what I wanted anymore. It's so interesting. I spent my entire life like trying to work towards something, and then it kind of just disappeared, and I didn't think twice about it. But after my daughter turned 1, I remember there being a shift and being like, I have goals for myself. Like, this doesn't feel right. I love being a mom, but I love doing other things too. And I need to get my shit together and figure out what that looks like for myself now.
If I have a career and I'm not home, like did you?
I mean, can't you still do that while being a mom and a wife? Just asking.
You experience that?
I still experience
Okay.
that. I still experience that. I'm always in therapy talking about this. If you lose all of those things that were interesting about you,
See, this is the part that I think is unfair when it comes to Aisha Curry. What she's explaining is what a lot of women, I believe, would have experienced in this situation, or even sometimes some men. When you're with somebody for most of your whole life, your dating life, but then you see other people and other women in relationships, or how they yearn, or they say that you should have been more in a hoe phase, like this next girl is going to say. You should have been more promiscuous. You should have been more out there, kind of, I guess, exploring your options and using your body and misusing yourself out there to then say, oh, okay, then you could be valued for a Steph Curry. My thing is this.
The only problem is if she had to went through a whole phase, then she will hold no value to Steph Curry outside of just sexual fun. And like Almond Aisha said, it's for both. Well, she said neither men nor women should go through a whole phase, but I think it's worse for women than it is for men. It may affect both of us, but it affects both of us differently. Just saying. But I don't think it's necessary to go through a whole phase, because by the time you go through a whole phase, you're not going to be able to pair bond with no one specific man. I mean, you may have a partner or two prior to the marriage or whatever. That's not the issue. It's when you've had multiple, as in more than two. If you dated one guy before marriage, then that's okay. But if you dated 6, 7, or 8 people and had sex with them, that's going to be a problem. That can be a problem. And for men, as I mentioned earlier, a man can sleep around and not have to worry about being attached to one woman. But like Alman said, it causes them to not have any discipline. That's why I put emphasis on dick discipline. They can't connect with any type of positive emotional level. And when you're a man and you're so used to dealing with loose females, it makes it hard for you to get along with women that are not so loose. Which is a good thing for me personally, because I've had the best of both worlds. I've had the loose ones, I've had the not so loose ones. So I had the best of both, if that makes any sense. Just saying. But fair use.
I need y'all to pay attention to the average looking person that advocates or just say, oh, we need a whole phase. Typically, it is somebody who looks like they have been fighting insecurity and people getting them mistaken from looking like a foot. We're going to look at this girl, right? And this is the shit that pisses me off, because
there's a lot of females that advocate for a whole phase that generally hoes themselves. So yeah, or they used to be hoes themselves. Just saying.
I never understand why other women get online and they start to promote the same fucking behavior that they're failing at. Like, bitch, how are you online giving advice if it didn't work for you? Let's check out this.
That's a good point. That's a very good point, Lucky Marie. Why the fuck are you giving people advice knowing it did not work for you? Which you think is going to work for the next person? Don't they have a saying, don't swim where the last person sunk? So being a hoe wasn't working for you. Why you want to encourage that for other people? Well, the only answer I can think of is misery loves company. They want other women to dab into the same fucked up lifestyle and situation that they were currently in so they can feel loved and wanted. It's like me being a drug addict, and then I want to promote drug use for everybody just so I can feel like I belong with these people. That's the only thing I could think of. Just saying.
No shit.
Let's continue. Fair use.
This girl
is a perfect example of why it is so important to have a hoe phase. Go be a hoe.
Oh my God!
Protect yourself and don't get pregnant. That's why she's sitting over there feeling trapped.
Okay, it's kind of blurred, but this caption says Aisha Curry missed out on very important phase. That's why she's acting like that. So she's basically saying Aisha Curry missed out on life because she didn't go through a whole phase prior to marriage. Yeah, get the fuck up out of here.
Trapped with Steph Curry. Sometimes you got to go through some stuff to really appreciate what you
Stop
have.
it. Get some help.
She probably ain't never been drugged through the mud by a dude. She probably never had a heartbroken time and time again. That's
My question is, what chick wants to get ran through the mud? If you like getting ran through the mud, fine. But if you want to commit a relationship with a good man, getting ran through the mud should be the last thing on your mind. Yeah, you're going to have your options and multiple partners, but if you're just concerned with being dragged through the mud by multiple men, fucking with different men, taking penis from multiple men, then that's going to be a bit of an issue. Because now it's going to be hard for you to pair bond with just one man. So why the fuck are we going down that rabbit hole? Come on, why would anyone want to go down that goddamn rabbit hole?
Why?
Let's continue.
Why she can't really appreciate what she has, because it's like, I need something edgy. I need something fun. Like this mom stuff, this being married to Steph Curry, this boring.
Wow.
Before we get to the other lady, right? Let's just rewind this back.
No shit.
I need us to know too that women who give advice from a standpoint where they always have been insecure, you have to think from a young age, we understand what our society tells us our value is placed in beauty and our ability to get men sexually. So then we misplace where the value is. But then we live in this spirit that allows us to exude some sexual energy towards men from a young age where they should be on their focus. But then we encourage them more to get into this quote unquote whole phase where we understand that once a man starts to get access to some vagina, that is usually where he starts to chase. It is not good for any gender to have a quote unquote whole phase.
Well,
but
I guess she agrees with you, Alman. Alman, I don't know if you're back there, but even Lucky Marie agrees that a whole phase is not good for women or men. Just saying. I'm not saying it's good for either side. I'm just saying it affects them differently and they go through it differently. I guess you could say I went through a whole phase when I was in my 20s because I was bored. I was single, bored, and horny. That's about it. I didn't go through a whole phase to find out what kind of chicks I like, what kind of pussy I love sticking my dick down. Nope. Because I kind of already had that shit figured out more or less. I kind of knew where I stood. I guess I stood in I don't do relationship. I'm just going to play the field, type of position. That's the mindset I had. Don't take women too seriously off rip just because they're giving you all this attention. That's the kind of man I was moving with. So I went through the phase just for the fun of it, not to figure out what the hell I like. And I didn't need no kind of spiritual healing after the fact. If I do some spiritual healing, it'll be for other reasons. Just saying. That's how men and women tend to deal with it differently. But I'm open to hearing other opinions on this thing. What do y'all think? Do y'all think a woman should go through a whole phase, or men and women alike should go through a whole phase prior to getting into a relationship? Let me know what you think in the comments below, or hit the link and let's talk about it. Until then, fair use.
Just speak about us as women, because when you misplace your value in thinking that is sexual and that the answer to anything in life is always through your coochie, you have a mental disorder and you should go get help.
Absolutely.
For you to be a woman who you won't even have an NBA player, you don't even have the top of the top nigga in the hood. For you to be a woman. So for me, my phones are playing. For me, it just makes me annoyed because it's like, how do you get up here and you say on camera, these women confidently say, yeah, you should have had the whole face, when you understand each time a man enters your body, you start to attach yourself to that man, whether you like it or not. Whether you're a person that feels like you have fucked enough out of consciousness, you are attaching yourself to said person. Then when that person walks off with a piece of you, you become less and less likely to make an emotional connection with the man. And then on the other end, because men make themselves and they have displaced value where their value is on how many women they can get generally, or the access
Absolutely. To women, a man's value is placed on how many women they can attract. I'm pretty sure we've all experienced that. If you're not getting pussy from multiple women, something wrong with you. And let's be honest here. For the most part, a lot of women are not attracted to men who don't have their plethora of women to choose from. Because Ayesha Curry said it herself. She was a good girl that she went to church and all the ladies knew Steph Curry. Now, my question is, this was high school, so I'm guessing he wasn't all that famous back then. But he had the attention and admiration of multiple women. So that lets you know right there. Men Men who have multiple female admirers tend to be more attractive to women. There's no getting around it, I'm afraid. I'm not saying the guy that's fucked around. I'm saying the guy that has, he's basically a select man. Other women like him. They like the pre-selection. And our value comes from our ability to do that. That's why we tend to clown men who don't get a lot of access to women. Like, what the fuck are you doing wrong? And even if they are getting access to women, let's keep it real here again. Even if these dudes are getting access to women, sometimes we have to question what kind of women are they attracting. Are you attracting good, confident Christian women or just a bunch of hoes for the streets? If it's the latter, then what the fuck are we talking about here? The only kind of women you can get are bottom of the barrel women. That could be a problem for some men, especially the ones that don't know how to move accordingly. So I have to just put that out there. Sometimes who you attract and what you're attracting is just as important as your ability to attract. Just saying, but let's get back into this. All right, fair use.
Women, now their value, now they're easily to get. So something that's easy to get, you do not value or you don't
You really
respect,
don't.
which is why
That's bars. Anything you can easily obtain is something not worth valuing.
we have an abundance of sexually liberated women, whores out here not respecting men, and also men having hard times to make healthy connections with women, which is why when they say now, sometimes I just want to enjoy the presence of a woman, but she keep bringing up sex.
Damn.
Nobody wants to have that conversation. But then this is also,
I don't mind my chick bringing up sex. She can talk about sex all she wants to. Me, I'm more interested in the sexual connection, the sexual teasing, and the sexual vibe. For me personally, it's not always about dick in the vagina. I'm okay with just putting my dick on you, having it around you, whatever the fuck, teasing you with the dick by bumping, by grinding it all up on you when we're just, having a good time, dancing to music or whatever. Like if we're sitting on the couch watching a movie, you can give me a nice little hand job or put your legs and feet in my lap, and then I may get erected from there. That's the kind of stuff I like. To me, it's not always about dick in the vagina action. I like the sexual teasing that could possibly lead to us having sex. Just knowing that there's a possibility of us having sex somewhere down the line is good enough for me. Because I know not to put my dick in everything. Just saying, but let's continue. Fair use.
the ideology, because you start misusing your value, and the only thing that you can get, usually the thing that you can get a man to give you attention with is through being sexual or having sex with them. So then you say, okay, now you're up in age and you're like, you know what, all these men wanted sex. That's because that's all they really wanted from you, because that's all you showed that you had to offer.
Absolutely. And any female that goes through a whole phase, that's the kind of message she's going to put out there. That's all she's really good for. It's just sex. So that's why I say it's probably not good to go through a whole phase, because you've been giving pussy to all these men. What makes me any special? Just saying. Fair use.
You did not place your value or your importance in anything else. And typically the women that get online and push that shit are not attractive. So to
Okay, I don't know about all that, but hey, at least be a 7 out of 10 if you're going to talk all that shit. Just saying.
even get out there again, you have to also think about and watch women, because sometimes women do not have your best interests at heart. They are some hating ass
They
bitches.
really don't.
So when they see you as an attractive woman and you're with a man of status, of course the advice that they're going to give you is basic bitch shit. It's going to say, hey girl, you sure? That's why you should have had a whole phase. That's why you should have been outside. That's why you should just, man, forget what he's saying. It's going to be something that lands you right back alone and not with the person that you want to be with. Everybody goes through ups and downs in relationships. You're talking about forever. If you've been with somebody for a young time, since you were younger or young in your life, and you think you're going through years, there's going to be a time period where you may think, you know what about this? Because there's so many things in the world, from your phone, from the music to what you watch, that's influencing you to indulge in temptation, which is why marriage is always attacked, because that is a sacred union. And we're easier controlled when we're not in a union. But you have these uncontrollable bitches.
Yeah, we're easily. She's right. That's deep right there. Easily controlled when you're not in a unit. Yep. You refuse a pair bond with a man. You just want to be looser for everybody. It's easier to tell you any goddamn thing. That's why looking at Adam and Eve, why did Satan tempt Eve to eat the apple off the wrong tree? Because he knew Eve as a woman was going to feed into her emotions. He knew how to manipulate her, get into her head and make her think this apple is fresh. And I don't know the whole story, but I just know basically he managed to convince her to eat the apple off the wrong tree that God said not eat it off of. And Adam, little goofy butt, went along with it. So he's just as guilty. He was a willing participant, so that makes him just as guilty, which is why we have sin in this world. So yeah, get a woman that has no sense of direction or unity, and it's easy to kind of get into her head. Just saying, fair use.
Get online to teach you how to be more chaotic in your life by giving solutions that did not salute to nothing that they have going on. Let's listen to her logic again. And this is the shit that irritates me. And if it don't apply, let it fly. If you're a person that feels like, oh, well, you're missing the point. I will always miss a point for an insecure bitch speaking out of insecurity instead of going to help herself to where she can understand, you know what? That's bad advice. Where was I in a place where my solution was just to go put that pussy on a bunch of niggas? Where did that ever land anybody? Let's listen to her again.
Ayesha Curry is a perfect example of why it is so important to have a hoe phase. Go be a hoe. Be a safe. Like,
Oh my God!
And don't get pregnant. That's why she's sitting over there feeling trapped with Steph Curry.
She says she's feeling trapped with Steph Curry. Is she really feeling trapped? If not, I'm calling cap. Triple cap.
C-A-P. Cap. Cap. C-A-P. Cap.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
C-A-P. Cap.
Let's continue. Fair use.
Sometimes you gotta go through some stuff to really appreciate what you have. She probably ain't never been drugged through the mud by a dude.
And what's your point?
She probably never had a heartbroken time and time again.
Well, we all go through heartbreak, so we don't know that for sure. Just saying.
That's why she can't really appreciate what she has, because it's like, I need something edgy. I need something fun. Like this mom stuff, this being married to Steph Curry, this boring.
And I don't even really think the issue with Ayesha Curry is her marriage. I just think
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
she's a woman that didn't get to have a whole phase. And
That's cap. Totally cap. That means lie.
Now, this is ridiculous. You can't make this shit up. Now, for those I don't remember, I did a whole show talking about should women go through a whole phase. And if y'all haven't seen that show, go check it out. I don't have the description I don't have the link in the description, but feel free to check out that show. Should women go through a whole phase prior to marriage? Hell, should men and women alike go through a whole phase before they get married and settle down? I'm open to hearing different opinions once again, but fair use.
She got married and
look at the other mug. You see what I'm saying?
What's with these glasses?
We got to look at another mug, get on camera and be like, well, see, the problem with her is girl. Even a dark alley at night, you're not getting picked, probably.
Oh, man. Now that is just harsh. Damn. That's kind of, man, that's kind of harsh. Don't you think?
Oh, my God.
Let's continue. Fair use.
It's like then people come up here and be like, Lucky, that was so harsh. Why do you have to result? Because if you saying something that goes against us as women in the fight that we've been trying to fucking fight, the fact that it puts us further and further behind, bitch, I think we should treat you like that game at Chuck E. Cheese. Every time you pop your fucking head up and say something stupid, we should bop you back in your hole.
Yeah, whack-a-mole, in other words.
Stop talking. Stop talking. It's too many people who think that they can weigh in on fucking on conversations, and they're repeating some bullshit that never worked. Tell me where it worked.
Exactly.
This is bullshit.
Where bitches went out and they said, I want to have a whole face. They're fighting right now.
They really are. They really are.
They're over here trying. This is the key indicator that you're not proud of it. Because if you were proud of a whole face, you bitches would say your body count.
Actually, they not gonna do it. I don't know about y'all, but me personally, I don't even ask a chick for her goddamn body count. Because first of all, you're not gonna tell me the truth, and second of all, if I don't want a relationship with you, probably don't matter to me. If you're not mad, it's just my turn. Just saying.
Say it. You don't want to say the number because you still want access to men, because you know that that's not something that is something to talk about. It ain't a phase that you should be proud of. And you can always tell a bitch got a high body count, and a high body count probably higher than the number that you would think, because of how she answers questions. Her conclusion is always whore based. And
shout out to IB Wardy. Thank you for stopping by, my guy. All right, let's continue.
Everything. Her conclusion is always, oh, well, we can go back out here and get these niggas. Fuck these niggas. I'm about to go out here and show him. Everything is revenge in the way she operates towards a man. And it's similar to what she says his behavior is. That's how you can tell a bitch has a high body count, because she can't emotionally attach anymore.
Absolutely. Like I said, it's like with my tape analogy. You take a piece of tape, attach it to one surface, take it off, attach it to another surface, take it off, attach it to another surface. Now it won't even stick. This is how women are when it comes to dealing with men. They have to attach and detach from so many men that it's going to be hard for them to attach to one man. Just like a tape is not going to be able to attach to another surface after being detached or unglued so many times. Women cannot attach to no one man after being glued and unstuck, glued and unglued to multiple men. It's just not going to happen like that. And that's deep right there. How to tell if a female got a high body count. Always talking about getting with men and getting revenge. I'm going to show this nigga something. That's a sign that she's been with multiple men. Usually I can indirectly tell that a female has been ran through or whatever. But based on my experiences, women just come out and tell me more or less that about all the guys that they've dealt with. I've had women that I've hung out with literally tell me, I dealt with this guy, I messed around with that guy, this guy had sex with me 2-3 years ago. They tell on themselves. Some of these chicks will literally tell on themselves. So that's why I don't see the point in asking for a body count, because like I said, they're not going to tell you the truth. And second of all, if you listen without judgment, she'll just tell on herself. And then I'll just have to force you to move accordingly. But let's continue. Let's hear that again. Just for some clarity. Fair use.
Fuck these niggas. I'm about to go out here and show him. Everything, because of how she answers questions. Her conclusion is always whore based in everything. Her
whore based.
Conclusion is always, oh, well, we can go back out here and get these niggas. Fuck these niggas. I'm about to go out here and show him. Everything is revenge in the way she operates towards a man. And it's similar to what she says his behavior is. That's how you can tell a bitch has a high body count, because she can't emotionally attach anymore. Yep. She's fucked up. Hope is gone. Everything is gone. All these men are the same. Now, you do have people who become so heartbroken, right? And then they hear so many stories from other bitches. But if you peel back the layers, usually the stories from other bitches are bitches who've been having whole faces.
Correct. Absolutely. That's a good point. That's why I said you can't listen. You can't believe everything you see or hear, especially with this old sisterhood shit. You can't believe everything that your so-called sisterhood tells you, because they're only telling it from their perspective, because they went through a whole phase, this, that, and the third. Now they're going to tell you all men ain't shit. All men just want pussy. Well, first of all, it's in our nature to want sex. And second of all, if those men only wanted you specifically just for sex, then maybe that says because that's all you have to offer the man. Just saying. and I'm speaking from my experience because I've seen this stuff all throughout my 20s and my teens, is women that ain't got shit to offer except sex. Now, to be fair, I've met several who had more to offer. Nothing ever popped off, but I have valid experience enough to know that not every woman out here is fucking around. And plus, it's just common sense that not everybody is a hoe for the streets. Just saying. Fair use.
And this ain't even a phase. You're just a hoe. You think.
Yeah, it's crazy how people want to say hoe phase. It's a phase, as in something I'm just going to go through for a little while and then grow out of or snap out of. Do y'all believe in hoe phases? Let me know what y'all think. Do y'all believe hoeing around just a phase or just something that they're going to do for a long period of time, if not forever? What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments what you think, but let's continue. Fair use.
You think the phase is over because it's been a couple of years. It's been a couple of years since I had some dick. Yep. Yeah, but you really gotta, even if you waited 10 years, bitch, you fucked enough dick for 20 years worth of a woman who's outside. So you can afford to sit down. They don't want to tell you that part. They don't want to tell you that part. Let's listen to the mug.
Tied down to the first nigga she thought she fell in love with, and because she didn't get to experience different types of males or dating different type of people, not even fucking them, just being able to be free and do what she want to do, it's coming out now. That's literally what that is.
See, that's how she rationalized it. It's because she want to do what she want to do. No. Look at them. Anytime the little barbaric trash can hoes come popping their head up, they're like, ooh. That's when they like, oh yeah, we got an attractive woman. She ain't no better than us. They love to thrive when they think you are the same. Look at her. She need to do what we did. Girl. It don't matter if you're an NBA player or a nigga that work at the post office. All these niggas are motherfucking the same. But let's see where this ideology come from. I love the fact that y'all hit the like button on your way in. Thank you, Big Daddy. But let's listen to this. Look at where it came from.
Can a man understand that when you were young, you were not, I'm not saying that's 100 people, but I would go and meet different guys.
By the way, this woman sounds British. Just saying.
Yeah, like I had a different outlook. So can a man still have the right to say, I don't want to, okay, fair enough, you were getting gangbanged at 14, like fucking hell.
Gangbanged at 14. What the fuck? All I can say. The price ain't right. The price ain't right. Let's continue.
I totally get it. But I just
look how, this is what I'm saying. Look at the demographic that started this whole shit. I know y'all gonna think something else. We know whoever stood up for this shit. We know what they look like. Like, stop playing. Let's stop playing. I don't have to say it. It's the fact that she's like, yeah, getting gang banged at 14. Bitch, what the fuck? At 14, I was wearing Melissa's. Okay, I had B2K posters, and bitch, I want to say I still had panties with the bows in the front.
Wow. Now, to be fair, I know back in the day, you did have 14, 15, 16-year-old boys and girls having sex. This kind of stuff kind of was happening back then. I've never had to witness it, thank goodness, but I hear stories of of women getting gang banged at 14, 15 years old. That kind of, it was a real thing back then. But lucky for me, not everyone was doing this kind of shit. I've had motherfuckers tell me that they was doing some nasty shit in middle school. Now, being the goody two shoes I was back in the day, I wasn't doing all that bullshit. Did I have an interest in sex at 11, 12, 13? Well, maybe. But again, being the goody two shoes I was, I never acted on it. Shout out to my moms for raising me to be this goody two shoes, good old boy with a heart of darkness that I am today. Because I was not doing all that old weird shit when I was in high school. For me, it started post high school, more or less. What would it say? Where are the parents? That's a good question. Where are the fucking parents in these situations? And like I said, if it wasn't for my mom, I probably would be out there doing the same shit that these young folks were doing, fucking around at 14, 15, 16 years old. But again, I was a goody two shoes growing up, so I wasn't into that kind of shit until much later. So I guess you could say I'm a late bloomer. And shout out to all my late bloomers, and shout out to all my old virginity gang. In other words, people who had sex later in life, aka post high school, at least 18 or older. Yeah, shout out to my old virginity gang out there. Just saying. But let's continue. Fair use.
What the hell are you talking about? Gang banged at 14. Were you going to Catholic school?
From what I understand, them Catholic schools are no better than the public schools. Any y'all been to a Catholic school like I did when I was throughout my majority years in high school? Them Catholic school girls can be just as nasty and weird as the public school girls, from what I'm understanding anyway. I mean, sure, we have to tone things down a bit for the sake of the school rules, but from what I understand, they were no better. Those just because they go around with the school uniforms on, that does not mean that they don't have this, that they have a higher level of discipline in comparison. Yes, the rules are enforced there, but you always got the rebels that's going to break the goddamn rules. So public school, private school, yep, the same shit was more or less happening. Just saying. Fair use.
Is that too far, y'all? They just always have been hoes. Like, it's a reason why they named the best head giver Becky. It's a reason.
Yeah, giving head since they were in high school makes sense, I guess.
It's a reason. Let's just,
because can a man understand that when you were young, you were not, I'm not saying I slept with 100 people, but you know, I would go and meet different guys, and yeah, like I had a different outlook. So can a man still have the right to say, you know, I don't want to?
Okay, the Rainbow Kid said looking like a RuPaul Drag Race contestant. Oh my God, y'all, Lucky Marie, your people be killing me.
Oh my God.
All right, let's continue. Fair use.
Okay, fair enough. You were getting gangbanged at 14. Like,
Again, gangbanged at 14 years old. What the fuck? Why?
Why? Why? Why? Why?
Let's continue.
No, I totally get it. But I just think, like, can a man look at you and think you're a hoe, even though you've gone through that growth? And
I'm gonna say yes, he can. Yes, the fuck he can. Yep.
You're not that person, and you haven't slept with anybody for 4 or 5 years.
Have you ever? But she still got attachments to those other men. Yeah.
she said, hold on. Can a man still look at you the same, even though you've had that growth?
Nope.
What was the growth? You haven't had sex in like 4 or 5 years?
That ain't no growth. That's just taking a break. Just saying. Let's continue. Fair use.
Is Logic in the room with us? I understand we all do dumb shit. We all do stupid shit. We all do stupid shit. But even when we doing stupid shit, you know, our common sense, our logic be like, you know, that was dumb as fuck. Why the fuck would you fuck with this bitch? And you knew. You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck would you fuck with this nigga? And you knew. Those are people who who are right there on the cusp of consciousness, but now their flesh is taking over. You know what I'm saying? People who have worked and so far out of that shit, they start sounding dumb like this. They don't even realize they're dumb. They don't. She's like, I mean, it's been 4 or 5 years. Okay, so tell me, a bitch who's been getting gang banged since 14, the psychology. Okay, gang banged. That's some white girl shit. Okay,
I never knew gangbang was even race specific. A white girl, black girl, whatever. It knows no race. Such antics know no race. So I don't know about all that, Lucky, but okay. Fair use.
I don't just know black girls that was getting gangbanged. Black girls,
well, for the black community, we say getting ran through. Had a train ran on them. So I guess gangbang, if it is a white person thing, I guess for black people, we just say get ran through. Yeah.
is our term. You being fast. And usually it's one boy she like at school. You know what I'm saying? And he ashy. That's not really our term. To just be talking casually about gangbangs on a 14-year-old, that is the level of pedophilia I'm not ready to talk about. Just I don't even know if it's pedophilia. I just assume that way because to be that hoard out, I think the boys at school, they gotta go home. You know what I'm saying? I just don't assume that. But she's like, just think of the mindset of a girl who's been getting fucked since 14, like that. Group fucks. Okay. And then
AKA had a train ran on them. AKA been ran through.
Oh my God!
Why?
Do you count each of those as bodies? Okay, so yo at 14, you got 6 bodies in one day. Ain't no bitch competing with you, not even me, bitch.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Then by the time you get to her age, how many fucking dicks you think been in there? Dick ain't even enough for her. You probably gotta tape her nipples, clamp her nipples to some shit, and then throw her some weird shit for her to even get off. Like, girl, normal sex is not cutting it for you. Y'all got to stop this shit.
Please.
Because y'all start making normal sex seem like it's not exciting anymore. Because y'all are so fucked.
I mean, I'm all for spicing things up in the bedroom. I'm all for you. But I guess sometimes normal sex can be boring. Some people like to spice it up. They like to role play. Just don't involve no balls, no chains, no handcuffs. I'm not into that BDSM type shit. I don't know about y'all, but I don't subscribe to BDSM. Just saying. I'm all for spicing things up in other ways. We can use our imaginations or whatever, wrestle with each other, play fight with each other. While you trying to grab my dick, I'm trying to grab that ass. I can do all that shit, but I don't subscribe to BDSM. Just saying. But that's just my opinion. But what y'all think? All right, let's continue. Fair use.
And this is the thing I would ask. How many years it takes for you to not have sex for you to feel like you've grown?
Who knows?
We got to stop making it seem like, oh, I ain't had sex in 5 years. Damn, that's crazy. No, that's a good thing.
It really
you
is.
should start looking at people like, damn, you got to have sex all the time. You're not with nobody.
Shit.
You're not married. That sounds too much like right. No, I gotta get to some pussy. Then we complain about men being so out there to get sex when there's bitches like this just open. She been open since 14.
Yeah, it don't make a lot of sense to perpetuate 304 culture and then get mad at men when they sign on and be like, okay, you want to be a hoe? Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna put my dick in you, on you, around you, and then keep it moving. No relationships, no commitments, none of that shit ever, ever, ever. But then they want to, but I guess if it's men that they're not attracted to, yeah, they want to change the goddamn rules. Like, oh, you got to commit to me first. You got to be in a relationship with me first. I'm all for getting into relationships and having commitments to one woman. But when you got females who stand on business one day, but then want to go outside of that tomorrow, depending on what kind of man that they're dealing with, that could be a problem. When it came to all these other niggas, they could just fuck you and do whatever. But when it comes to me, I got to be in a relationship with you. You can't change the rules. It's just because you're dealing with a different man. They gonna do that nonetheless, but you can't just go around changing the goddamn rules whenever you feel like it. Stand on business. I mean, people can change, don't get me wrong, but that change better come early and it better come with some genuine intentions. Don't be changing the rules just because you're dealing with certain types of men. Like as an average dude, I got to make you my girlfriend, but the guys before me could just give you some access to their dicks and just like that, they're good in your book. Nope. That's a problem. And plus you got to look at the kind of women that you're dealing with. If you're dealing with a female that you know possibly been ran through by other men, you shouldn't even be having marriage and relationship on your mind when dealing with this particular female. Instead, you should either one, leave her alone, or two, move accordingly. It's one thing to treat people differently based on presentation, but when you start changing the rules based on how you feel about the person or level of attractiveness, that could be a problem. Just saying. You can't be changing the goddamn rules like that. Hopefully what I'm saying makes sense to y'all, but if not, let me know in the comments. All right, fair use.
Ready. Let's keep going to the rest of this mindset.
Have you ever had a whole phase before?
Well,
Who hasn't?
talking about some who hasn't. Get the fuck out of here.
This is bullshit. God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
So
Yeah, a major one.
Red flag number one, who hasn't? That's the defense mechanism when you want to make it seem like we was all outside eating dick like you since no.
Yep, I understand. That is a red flag. Who hasn't been through a whole phase? Well, bitch, not every chick is doing that. Just saying. We may have had our select few partners, but we ain't out here just taking dick from everybody. Not all the women, not all females are just taking dick from everybody. Just saying. But let's continue. Fair use.
Oh no, a lot of people have not had a whole phase. Some of us really try to fall in love, and then we have sex with those guys, and then we're the dumb girl that's like, damn, you guys are so gullible. A nigga just tell you anything. Men actually try to impress some of us, and then we learn the hard way. Oh my God, he really didn't like me like that. That was a mistake. Oh my God, he hurt my feelings. Then we get all heartbroken. Then we need time before. And then when we meet the next dude, he know we not a hoe because then we still talking about this nigga so heartbroken. He need a real hoe that ain't about to be attached to no nigga.
Okay. He need a real hoe that's not attached to anybody. Just saying. And that's a good point. Why you think a lot of these females bring up their past experiences or bring up their exes or bring up some dude that they fucked not too long ago because they're still attached to those men. You don't hear us men doing that. I mean, as men, we may talk about bitches we may have fucked, but we don't talk about it in an emotional sense. Like, oh, this is the chick I used to fuck. We do that for bragging rights. Women do it because they're emotionally attached to the guy, but we do it just for bragging rights. But then again, when you get a certain age, you shouldn't be doing that anyway. Past 20 or 20, 23, 24, I'm going to say past high school period, you should be through with that whole bragging rights phase where you're just bragging about how many women you've been with or hooked up with or whatever the fuck. But let's continue. Fear you.
Okay, so when you say we all have, girl, no, we all have not. We have been heartbroken, or there's been time we want to fall in love and we think we in love. So then you have sex. The average thing for a woman to do is have sex when she thinks she's in love with a guy. That's normal. But bitches who've been getting hoed out since teenagers, they don't really have sex for those reasons. They look at sex as like a hello or just something we do or something you just have to this is women like you, so we're just going to have sex. That is very unhealthy. Listen to what the rest of the things she says.
Pros and cons.
Pros, you like are literally just having the best time of your life because you feel like on top of the world, right? Like you're getting all the attention and like you're like, oh, like I can do this, like I can get this guy, I can get this guy. But then cons is like they don't actually like you for you. They are like they won't. She's just like a good fuck. Like let me just.
Well, she's right about that. You're just a good fuck.
Well, no fucking shit.
Take her home, like, you know, they don't actually want to date you, and like then you're like lonely as fuck at the end of it.
So would you recommend?
I'm so happy she learned that lesson.
Yep.
Don't be a good fuck, ladies, okay? Well, to the right person, I guess.
Men for young girls to have whole faces and experiment, or?
I would recommend that people experiment everything because you want to get like everything out of life. I wouldn't really say like that kind of phase.
I wouldn't say a whole phase, but experiment.
You still want to know.
Yeah.
And there's only one way to find out if getting multiple dicks is a good thing or not, by getting multiple dicks.
So I guess she's saying have multiple dicks just to see what it feels like. And if you don't like it, just stop. I don't know about all that, but okay.
Yeah. There's only one way to find out if getting multiple dicks is a good thing.
Wow. Ain't that some shit?
I would love to know how she came up with that rationale. Really.
I mean, I'm not in that era anymore. Like, it's a hot girl
She's not in that era anymore.
summer, but it ain't a hoe girl summer, you know?
Exactly.
What's the difference between a hot girl summer and a whole girl summer? What's the fucking difference? You're going on vacation just to explore the world and see what's out there. That's one thing. But just to be out here trying to see how many men you can rack up, how much attention you can get, I don't see much of a difference nowadays between a hot girl summer and a whole girl summer. They're practically the same thing. Just switch out the E with a T, and that's all it is. Hot girl summer, whole girl summer. What's the difference? Aside from you switching out the E with a T. Yeah.
Hot girl summer is okay, girl. Okay, girl. then they had to put a Meg Thee Stallion quote. No. You started this whole shit. And it's the motherfucking thanks we get. But sometimes when we carry it out, it just look different when we wear it. That's why we care about our group more. Y'all whole shit is for y'all men to understand. Shout out to Ricky with the super chat. He said, put him on the clock. He will find out what's up.
Put him on the clock.
Exactly.
Put him on the clock.
Exactly.
Put him on
And
the
on
clock.
that note, guys, y'all know during the week, I am here for a good time and a long time. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Let me know what y'all think about this. When has it ever benefited us to have a whole face?
Never.
And then it's like, well, all these what are the men you're picking to have this phase with? Just dropping off snot in your
Picking niggas that just don't give a fuck. They just want some access to some pussy without their emotional attachments. Yeah.
girl. Y'all hoes is nasty. Y'all gotta
They really are.
get help. But y'all have a good day. Enjoy it. Bye bye.
Well, that's the video. Well, what y'all thought about that? What y'all thought about what shout out to my girl Lucky Marie. That was interesting. That was truly interesting. But what y'all thought about what she had to say about the whole phase thing? Because I've been saying that for a long time now. Again, I did a whole show talking about the whole phase. should women go through it. And we all agree that it's not good for a man. It's not good for a woman. Now, who's it more detrimental to is a matter of opinion, but we can argue that women suffer the most because they're the ones trying to find spiritual healing and find a man upstairs after they've gone through their whole phase. You don't see too many men making the same complaints. I have never heard a man in my life say, I went through a whole phase, now I'm trying to find God and get right by the Almighty High. I've never heard a man say that. If y'all know any men who said that, please let me know. Let me know if y'all know any men who said stuff like that. Because I would love to see, because I would love to hear about what y'all have to say. It's crazy out here. But anyways, since nobody's coming up at the moment, what I'm going to do is take a brief string break. And I'll be sure to come back soon. So if anybody come in while I'm gone, just sit back, relax. I'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
There goes the neighborhood. 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 Welcome to the place where all the creatures meet. The last building on the left on the dead-end street. You find skeleton bones, abandoned homes. It's the hood of horrors, nigga, it's on. Ring around the rosy, walls full of posy. She had the power for the hour, but she chose me. Wrong way, what you say? Hey, she didn't do it right. Now tonight's tonight, and death is in sight. You just might, cause this life, fright night with a little more bite. I'm kicking back, sitting on my phone. Fire behind me, murder blind me. Half pint beside me, my comrade, my homie. With two slinks that'll take and gank anybody for me. I'm the crypt keeper, yeah, the grim reaper. You won't even see me wanna creep up. Welcome to the place where all the creatures meet. The last building on the left on the dead-end street. You find skeleton bones, abandoned homes. It's the hood of horrors, nigga, it's on. Welcome to the place where all the creatures meet. The last building on the left on the dead-end street. You find skeleton bones, holes and domes. It's the hood of horrors, nigga, it's on. There's no justice, cause justice ain't justice. Life is so precious, I'll be your judge to justice. Busters, a couple of veteranos from the Vietnam War. Really didn't know what they was in store for. Let's just say they ran across a scum lord. He tried to pull a fast one, mentally harass him. But you know me, I had to physically harass him. What happened to him and this girl? Dog, just ask us. They had it coming. Now it's a trip to see that bitch when I blew up her stomach. That shit was funny. Now give me the rent money. You won't be pulling no fast one on my peoples, you motherfucking dummy. So you best to be acting right. Cause I can take you to the afterlife, the necropolis, and I'm the optimist. To fuck up your shit, another tale from the crib. Welcome to the place where all the creatures meet. The last building on the left on the dead-end street. You find skeleton bones, abandoned homes. It's the hood of horrors, nigga, it's on. Welcome to the place where all the creatures meet. The last building on the left on the dead-end street. You find skeleton bones, holes and domes. It's the hood of horrors, nigga, it's on. What the game won't do for you, what you won't do to be on top. Sell out your own crew. Better yet, treat your homie like he brand new. Let me tell you about this particular fool. Thought he was hard, motherfucker named Saul. But I'ma let him meet God, cause I'm the head nigga in charge. That boy done got too large, now he in trouble. Now it's time to pop his bubble. But before I do, give him a chance, tell him repent. He say, fuck that shit, I do it again. Right then, I knew I had to do him in. Put the grenade in his hand, then let him pull a pin. That's cold how he did his friend. For 15 minutes of fame. Yeah, rap is a dirty game. It's getting darker to him. I know you think that I can do it, talking to him. Come on, man, let me walk you through it. Welcome to the place where all the creatures meet. The last building on the left on the dead-end street. You find skeleton bones, abandoned homes. It's the hood of horrors, nigga, it's on. Welcome to the place where all the creatures meet. The last building on the left on the dead-end street. You find skeleton bones, holes and domes. It's the hood of horrors, nigga, it's on. There goes the neighborhood. 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 There goes the there goes the neighborhood.
I done rolled up like 5 blunts, whole pack got me dead as fuck. But you know that we smoked it up, me and my niggas really be high as fuck. What you know about that married bitch? Smoke so much I can never ditch, like an ex bitch. For that lame bitch, I got my main bitch and I never switch, oh God. Smoking my blood in the whips of the moon. Whole fucking vision went straight to cartoon. Driving so smooth like a road on the moon. About to hit downtown real quick in my food. This shit go hit like a song chopped and screw. Hop on the beat and you know I spit true. Kosher boys don't keep me really the move. Making good numbers, go ahead see the proof. Uptown, blunt south, when we pulling up. Pound on pound, bitch, we just doubled up. Uptown, blunt south, when we pulling up. Downtown, sound loud, bitch, I'ma spark it up. Quick with the echo shit, car hop, put some black pants. 2 cash, think I got a cut back. Walking on alone with a blunt in my hand. Thinking about tonight, I don't want it to end. Eat the beat like an animal. Girl, you're so damn valuable. God damn it, would I ever know we're being inseparable since the beginning. Now we doing business, watch your ass for this. Bitch, I'm rolling up another. First saw you from a distance, put you on my hit list. Knew you be my lover. Now we doing this shit, watch your ass I hit this. Bitch, I'm rolling up another. I done put you on my wish list. Hanging with you, miss this. I don't wanna find another.
Never trust a nigga cause they hater. A nigga out here trying to stack some paper. You better cuff your bitch before I date her. That dick up in the stomach, I know you hate her. That money on my mind, I'm trying to get it. I ain't worried about no nigga in my business. Gotta stay up in your lane, man, I'm trying to get this business. Trying to get this fucking money on my mind. If you with it, rest in peace to my nigga Young Dog. Out in Mississippi trying to just get it dog. Motherfucker damn hater, man, I might fuck your bitch. Better watch your damn mouth when you talking about me type shit. Yeah. I'm chilling on the east side, Riverhead. To be East View, yeah, type shit. Straight from the motherfucking 660. Don't play with me, I just might shoot you. Keep it real with your G no matter what. Never stab a nigga back for a buck. If she fuck, she gon' fuck, she gon' fuck. Goddamn, my nigga, what's up? If you cross the line, nigga better stay. Thinking back, cross the line, beat up. Rather be judged by 6 and cleared by 12. My nigga that believe it's all well. Now I got the motherfucking trap jump. These hoes got they motherfucking ass jump. Me and June bucking pimpin' on these hoes. Sad shit, ripper heel type shit. Niggas don't wanna take a loss, but if you take a loss, that could cost to beat the ball. You making money out here in the street, man. It's chestnut checker on your piece of tree. Know what I mean? Grad cut low, watch out for the snake. Cause a nigga rob you real fast type shit. Have a real fine bitch sucking on your dick, but the whole time she up, just to set up, bitch. Keep one in the hole, nigga never know when a nigga bout to pull a kick dough. Keep one up in the hole, a nigga never know when a nigga bout to pitch a kick dough. Keep it real with your G no matter what. Never stab a nigga back for a buck. If she fuck, she gon' fuck, she gon' fuck. Goddamn, my nigga, what's up? If you cross the line, nigga better stay. Thinking back, cross the line, beat up. My nigga, I'm here. That way, my nigga. Sad and Zoom, aka Free. Shout out to my nigga Pimpin' Boss Street, you know what I'm saying, over there on the house. Free my nigga, man, up in that pen. Free my nigga, they ain't gon' never see the streets again. We up in this thing. You know what I'm saying? My nigga got cold in the morning. I'm up in the studio 4 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Finna wake my nigga up. Man, we got motion around this bitch. Four flats on the Cadillac, add up type shit. Yeah.
I done rolled up like 5 blunts, whole pack got me dead as fuck. But you know that we smoked it up, me and my niggas really be high as fuck. What you know about that married bitch? Smoke so much I can never ditch, like an ex bitch. For that lame bitch, I got my main bitch and I never switch, on God. Smoking my blood in the whips of the moon. Whole fucking vision went straight to cartoon. Driving so slow like a road on the moon. Bout to hit downtown real quick, get my food. This shit go hit like a song, chop the screw. Hop on the beat and you know I spit true. Culture boys don't keep me really the move. Making good numbers, go ahead, see the proof. Uptown, blunts out, when we pulling up. Pound on pound, bitch, we just doubled up. Uptown, blunts out, when we pulling up. Downtown, sound loud, bitch, I'ma spark it up. Quick with the echo shirt, car hop, put some black packs. 2 cash, think I got a cut back. Walking on the dog with a blunt in my hand. Think about tonight, I don't want it to end. Eat the beat like an animal, girl, you so damn valuable. God damn it, would I ever know we'll be inseparable since the beginning. Now we doing picnics, what you ask for Brit this, bitch, I'm rolling up another. First saw you from a distance, put you on my hit list, knew you'd be my lover. Now we doing this shit, what you ask I hit this, bitch, I'm rolling up another. I done put you on my wish list, hanging with you, makes me miss this, I don't wanna find another. I done rolled up like 5 blunts, whole pack got me dead as fuck. But you know that we smoked it up, me and my niggas really be high as fuck. What you know about that married bitch? Smoke so much I can never ditch, like an ex bitch. For that lame bitch, I got my main bitch.
through it. Welcome to the place where all the creatures meet. The last building on the left on the dead-end street. You find skeleton bones, abandoned homes. It's the hood of horrors, nigga, it's on. Welcome to the place where all the creatures meet. The last building on the left on the dead-end street. You find skeleton bones, holes and domes. It's the hood of horrors, nigga, it's on. There goes the neighborhood. There goes the neighborhood. There goes the neighborhood. There goes the neighborhood.
Okay, I'm back. Back at it again. Sorry to keep you kind folks waiting. Hope you enjoyed the music I was playing. Just to make the time go by and give people a chance to come up. So yeah, just work with me on this, people. All right. I do have another video I want to do a quick reaction to before I shut this down. That is if nobody wants to come up, but it is what it is, right? I do have one more to react to, and yes, it involves Ayesha Curry again. Shout out to Lucky Marie for that critique, and I had a lot of shit to say about that, about that reaction she did. Too bad it wasn't an open panel. I had a lot of shit to say. That's why I'm doing. I did this reaction now because I did a show talking about the whole phase in the past and why it's not healthy for women. So, of course, I had a lot to say on it. All right. Let me just share the screen with you guys. All right, here we go. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. Back at it again. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to him. He puts out hilarious content. I ain't watched this man in almost 6 months, but it is what it is. All right. This says Ayesha Curry's cheek clapping situation is insane. Oh my. Okay. Well, let's hear what he has to say about this. Crank up the volume. All right, let's continue. Fair use.
In 2025, Ayesha Curry appeared on the Call Her Daddy podcast, and she said some pretty interesting things.
Like what?
4 kids. Did you always knew you wanted a big family?
No.
Okay, this Ayesha Curry faces backlash after admitting she never desired to have kids, saying she was always had her own career goals and sometimes felt Stephen doesn't understand her feelings. Wow. My God. I mean, can't you have a career and be a parent at the same time, be a spouse at the same time? Why do people feel like that just because they're parents now that they have to give up on everything? I mean, you ain't got to get, I mean, when you're a parent, some things you may have to give up on, but everything. This is why I say some people don't need to be getting married, because their perception of marriage kind of goes against what it stands for. It's a reunion between a man and a woman. It's not something that just, it shouldn't be like a wall or a barricade to hold you back from doing the things you want to do. If that's how you feel about marriage, that it ain't for you at that moment, or if not ever at all. Just saying. But let's continue. Fair use.
So I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. Okay,
now this comment down here says you can be one of the goats and your girl will still go on to slander your reputation and talk about how you ruined their dreams. Ain't no hope for us regular dudes. Oh man, my God. It's a common fact that even celebrities and the rich and the famous struggle with relationships. So we can't feel too bad about, we can't feel too out of place about our struggles, because everybody struggles no matter where they stand in society, rich, poor, or middle class. Just saying. Fair use.
Thought I was going to be career girl and that's it. And I had my eyes set on my goals, and I was never the little girl that like dreamt about the wedding dress and all of that. And then it happened so early in my life.
Now, again, she's talking about her own personal plans and how that got derailed. But again, this happened almost 2 months ago. But with this podcast, it is now resurfaced all over social media and it's picking up traction again. And I believe the real reason why it is because of this.
Like, this doesn't feel right. I love being a mom, but I love doing other things too. And I need to get my shit together and figure out what that looks like for myself now.
If I have a career and I'm not home, like did you experience that?
I still experience that. I still experience that. I'm always in therapy talking about this. If you lose all of those things that were interesting about you, even for yourself, like even the things that made me feel confident and cool, then what are you doing?
Now, here Ayesha Curry is saying, listen, I'm still in therapy because, I had my own plans. I felt like I've lost myself. And this is why we see Ayesha Curry doing certain things like seeking male validation, wearing skimpy clothes, partying with her girls in Toronto without Steph. And of course, this looks like it's disrespectful. But ultimately, what Ayesha Curry is saying, I have my own plans. I lost a lot of myself. I'm now a mother. I have 4 kids. And people on the outside of the equation think like, but you're crazy. You're with like one of the best basketball players ever.
Yeah, trust me, you ain't missing out on much out there. Just saying. You ain't really missing out on much. I mean, isn't this what women should thrive to do? Get married, find a good man. Isn't that what women talk about all the time? Trying to find a good man, be in a relationship or marriage. I mean, it's one thing to do that on your own marriage, but it's another thing to just say, well, being married held me back from what I really wanted to do. Being married kind of kept me from being my true self. No, that's not how marriages are supposed to work. If you feel like marriage is more of a barrier or a wall to doing the things you want to do, you don't need to be doing it. Just saying. But let's continue. Fear you.
Filthy rich, you have it all. I mean, because of him, you have these things. But that doesn't necessarily discount her own experience. And people are now starting to weigh in on it.
Ayesha Curry is a perfect example of why it is so important to have a go be a
Here we go with this shit again.
C-A-P. Cap.
But be a safe hoe though, like protect yourself and don't get pregnant. That's why she's sitting over there feeling trapped with Steph Curry.
Here we go with this shit again. She feels trapped with Steph Curry because she didn't have a chance to experience a whole phase. That is not always the case. Maybe there was some things she wanted to do with her life but never got a chance to because of marriage. But like I said, can't that be worked out? Can't y'all work around that? Because I've heard stories of women who got married young, but they still got their degrees. They still got their education because they had help from family. Does Ayesha have help from any family like Steph does? I don't know. We don't know for sure. But I don't see marriage as a way. I don't see marriage being as the means of just giving up things you want to do with your life. You can still do them, but now you can take this person along for the ride. And plus, if you want to do certain things before you get married, make sure that they're not dangerous, over the top shit. And going through a whole phase is one of those dangerous, over the top shit that's going to cause you to lose your value. If you want to go bike riding or BMXing or, I don't know, mountain climbing or something like that, again, nothing too dangerous or strenuous before you get married, that's all right. Fulfill those desires. But to go through a whole phase before you do that, nope, not in the same light. Just saying. Shout out to Aaron Lauren for stopping by. Glad you could stop by, my lady. Feel free to chime in on this if you want to. The link is right up there if you want to come up or just speak your piece in the comments. It's up to you. All right, let's continue. Fair use.
Sometimes you got to go through some stuff to really appreciate what you have. She probably ain't never been. She probably ain't.
Maybe you do got to go through some things to appreciate what's in front of you, but that does not involve getting ran through by multiple men. Shit. That would be like me saying, that would be like me, a married man saying, I think I'll go fuck around with other women so I can appreciate my wife more. Or her saying, I'm gonna fuck around with other men so I can appreciate my husband more. What the fuck kind of bullshit is that? What the hell kind of shit is that? Just saying, but let's continue.
Never been drugged through the mud by a dude. She probably never been. She probably never had a heartbroken time and time and time again. That's why she can't really appreciate what she has, because it's like, I need something edgy. I need something fun. Like this mom stuff. This being married to Steph Curry, this shit is boring. And
it's supposed to be boring, is it not? Any of y'all and Lauren, I don't know if you're a married woman or not, but can you attest to any of this? I don't know if you're a married woman or not, but if you are, please speak your piece on this because she says being married is boring and all that kind of bullshit. But what do you think? You think you should have went through a 304 phase prior to marriage? I don't believe this. Okay, Lauren says all these things. Hold on, let me make the screen bigger because I'm trying to put my. Okay, Lauren says all these things women think they're missing out on aren't normal human things. It's she Hollywood told them they should do. 304 phase was never a normal thing in all human history. That's a good point. And when you say not normal, you mean normal as in it's unheard of or nothing uncommon, or normal as in this is something that no rational person should want to do. I'm gonna go with the latter, but hey, what do you think? I'm going with the latter version of normal. This is something that you should not be doing as a reasonable, logical person, instead of the normal of, well, it's not unheard of. We see it all the time, kind of normal. Okay. And she says she loves boring. Huh, good to know. Good to know. Glad you could stop by. Good to know. You love boring. Well, at least some of y'all do. If you're definite, good to know some of y'all do. You said Aaron is good, not rational, not unusual. Aaron is good, not rational, not unusual. Not usual. Okay. Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. Okay, fair use.
Now she's really rebelling. She want to be in the streets. She want to be desired by other men. She probably want to do something with another man because she probably never experienced that. Like, when did they get together? Like high school or something?
Yep, they did. High school.
That is not enough time to be out in the world and do stuff and experience stuff.
Now, to be fair, I guess getting married young can be a detriment, but too young is I'm gonna say at age 25 you should be ready for marriage. Anything younger than that, nah, that's too young. Because I'm not saying that because you haven't lived life, yes, but you have to know yourself and know what you want and know what you're doing. Have yourself financially and mentally stable first. It ain't about he needs to go through a whole phase or she got to go through a whole phase before she can make that commitment. No, it's about y'all having your priorities straight before getting into a marriage or relationship. That's my biggest pet peeve with people getting married young like that. I would never tell a female, go fuck around with multiple men before you get married. But when I tell another man to do that, yeah, probably not. But I know he's going to do it anyway. I would tell a man, go see what's out there. But if you found a good woman, nigga, you better take her and wife her up before I do. Shit, plenty of men that want to wife up that good girl who has her head on straight that don't like to hoe around. Better hop up on that shit, brother. But you know, as men, we gonna fuck around because it's just in our nature. Okay, Aaron also said, I mean, going out being a 304 wasn't the norm until recently. True that. Most women were married by 20s, no time for that phase. Now they want to party till 30 or 40. You touched on that. Yes, I did touch on that. I don't know if I did it today, but I did it on one of my older streams. They want to have fun throughout their 20s and 30s. Then when they're damn near 40-something years old, now they want to settle down with somebody good. It's called hitting the wall. I don't know if you heard that phrase before, Aaron. It's called hitting the wall. It ain't got much to do with your age. It's more about your value being diminished. Hold on. When I say hitting the wall, I'm talking about your value as a woman has gone down, not because you aged, but because you weren't living your life properly. You weren't keeping yourself in healthy condition. You weren't doing that. It's not about the age. You can hit the wall at 21, 22 years old. You've been fucked around with multiple men. So I don't put an age on hitting the wall. I put quality of life on hitting the wall. It can happen to you at damn near any age. You have a whole phase in your teens and 20s. By the time you get 30s, you're gonna be hitting that wall. Just saying. And I agree with what she's saying. It wasn't the norm until recently. I'm gonna say for the last decade plus, it's been considered a norm. 304 phase is nothing new. Honestly, it is really nothing new. Because I mean, back when I was younger, women who were fucking around like that, they kept that shit to themselves. Aaron, Lauren, ever had that one woman in the neighborhood that your mom and dad told you to stay the fuck away from because they're bad news? Yep, she was a neighborhood 304, the neighborhood bad girl. So yeah, people knew of them, yeah, but they was like small and abundant from what I'm remembering correctly. Every generation had that bad girl or bad boy that nobody liked, they had to stay the fuck away from. But I think nowadays it's like everybody want to be the bad boy or the bad girl. Everybody want to be the 304. Back then, only a small number were living like that. At least that's what I remember anyway. I'm guessing we're of the same generation, but that's what I remember as far as the 304s are concerned. They've always been around since God created the earth, but first of all, they were small in an abundance, and second of all, they stayed in their own lanes, and number two, not everybody was encouraged to do this kind of shit because we had a more structured, a better family structure back then. He said, "Oh yeah, I heard it. I heard the wall. I'm a Kevin Samuels fan." Yeah, she said she's a Kevin Samuels fan. Okay. Yeah, at least somebody appreciate what that man was saying despite his harshness. And let's keep it real here. KS was just not going in on women. He went in on quite a few men as well. Me personally, I probably be too scared to step to Kevin Samuels. I know he's gonna tell me the hard truth that's gonna hurt my self-esteem. But then again, I'm built for that kind of shit. I'm a whole man. I'd probably be afraid to step to KS if he were alive today. He's a good man at heart, but he has to give you the truth that nobody else will. It ain't about misogyny. In that case, I guess he hates women and men. He goes in on men with the same kind of energy. Just saying. Whoops. But let's continue with this. All right. Fair use.
Like, you don't have to experience a whole lot, but I don't think she experienced anything at all. And now she's tied down, married with kids.
And
you can't go do your thing right now unless you go do your thing and run the risk. Like, you ain't just no Lucinda from down the block. You're Ayesha Curry. If you go mess with anybody, trust me, we gonna know about it.
Aha, we get it, the phase. Now, this phase, if you can define it, is a particular phase where women are single, typically young, and they're not necessarily having sex, but it could include having sex or dating or both with multiple men. Basically finding out about themselves. And then if you go through these guys, many of them may be bad or not for you. Then
I don't see how going through a whole phase will help you find out what you I don't know how going through a whole phase will help you find out, help define yourself or find yourself. All you're going to get out of it is just finding out how men think, what they're like sexually, and that's it.
At the end of this particular phase, you will be able to appreciate the guy that you have because you've been through so many guys and situations and had your heart broke that you would find out that this guy, Steph Curry, is the one for you. The problem with Ayesha Curry is because she's been with Steph when she was young, she has nobody to compare him to, which means that
and that's a bad thing. Why exactly? I get where he's coming from, but why is that a bad thing exactly? You ain't got nobody else to compare me to, because the last thing I want to deal with is a female who's been around the block with so many different men that now she has 1,000+ different dicks to compare mine to. Who wants that? That's why we don't take them kind of women seriously, because we already know what comes with that. You've been with so many men that now I got to try to measure up to those men, and if I can't, then I'm out. Now, it begs the question, do men think the same way when it comes to women? Do you hear a lot of women saying, oh, this bitch fucked me way better than the current bitch I'm with now? Do y'all hear men say shit like that? Because I don't hear that too often. Maybe that's just me, because I don't hear that too often. And even if men do compare their current partner to a previous partner, usually it's something trivial like, oh, she cooks better than you, or she appreciates me better than you. She laughs at all my jokes and you don't. That's about it. But with these women, it's like, he got a bigger dick than you. He fucks me better than you, yada, yada, yada. That's the most I have to hear from men anyway. But let me know what y'all think. Have y'all experienced men comparing their current partners to the partners that they had in the past, as opposed, kind of like how women compare their male partner, current partner, to all the males, the men that they had in the past? Let me know what you think about that. Fair use.
She is unsure of her own position. So to us, we think that something is wrong with her, but to her, this is the only guy that she knows about. So she doesn't.
Again, why is that a bad thing? They always say get women while they're young and haven't seen too much of anything, because once they get to that point where they've seen enough and done enough, it's like it's going to be hard for them to shack up with just one particular person. Aaron Lawrence says, "Hey, I know you through Amira." We're on the same page here. Okay. Oh, you mean Amira, aka the Exile Lioness? Yes, I used to rock with her when she did open panels. I still do. I watch her lives every now and then late at night, but I ain't rock with her in a minute. But yeah, I know if you're talking about Amira, the Exile Lioness, yep, I know who she is. And I'm glad to know we're on the same page here. Just saying. And like I said, weren't you, Aaron? I don't know if you're married. Aaron, are you married by any chance? If so, let me know in the comments or talk about it on the panel. It's up to you entirely. Oh, she says she is married. Yes, okay. And if you don't mind my asking, how old were you when you got married? Were you at least 25 when you got married? Or anything younger than that is too young, in my humble opinion. But just saying. Oh, she says she's not married. Okay. Ah, damn. Well, that's okay. Everybody's welcome to this show, married or single. I'm seeing somebody, but it's not a traditional relationship. But it is what it is. Okay. Anyways, anybody is welcomed up here. All right, let's continue. Fair use.
Understand what is really out there. And there are a lot of people who back this claim up.
And I don't even really think the issue with Ayesha Curry is her marriage. I just think that she's a woman that didn't get to have a face. And
we go with this shit again, like Lucky Marie was reacting to. Now it's O'Shea Duke Jackson picking it apart.
she got married and tied down to the first nigga she fell in love with. And because she didn't get to experience different types of males or dating different type of people, not even just being able to be free and do what she want to do, it's coming out now. That's literally what that is.
Again, this lady is saying the same thing. Like, she just needed to get it out of her system. And of course, now there's a rebuttal to this.
Sleeping around for women in their youth is way too easy. And it's hard to respect something that comes too easy.
Absolutely. I've spoken on that before in the past. As a beautiful woman, you can easily get men to want to sleep with you because by our nature, that's kind of what we want. We want sexual gratification in some shape, form, or fashion. So it's pretty easy for women to get men. You can't say the same thing for men. We got to put in a lot more work. Aaron, as a beautiful lady, you can walk outside wearing your tight leggings or sexy heels or whatever the fuck you wear when you go outside, and men are automatically going to be looking at you and be thinking about doing a little something with you. Do you think we men can do that? No, we can't. I can't go outside with my little muscle shirts on in the summertime and have women flocking around me. It takes more work for us men. That's why we as men get more respect when we go through our little hoe phases, as people like to call it, because it's more work for us to get women compared to a woman getting a man, getting men. That's how it's always been. I'm not saying get with the guy that's irresponsible with his penis, because I speak on that shit a lot. Wrap it before you tap it, or just go home and fap it. That's all you need to do. I don't need you as a man putting babies in multiple women, or worse, catching an STD, writing a check that your dick can't cash. I don't need you doing that. I don't need women writing checks that their vaginas can't cash. So both sides are responsible for being responsible for their sexuality, and both are responsible for being wise with who they sleep with. We both got to be sexually disciplined in that regard. Just saying, but fair use.
Even from a biological and evolutionary standpoint, a life of escapades with multiple men without any kind of emotional involvement is the antithesis of the female mating strategy. In other words, a woman sleeping around goes against natural law. Scarcity creates value, and girls are depleting their value by making themselves too easily available to men.
That's a good point. Scarcity does equal value. If you're one of those rare species of good women, and you're very scarce, you're going to have some value. But I think those women are being overshadowed by the multiple 304s out here in the streets. So yeah, when you're scarce, you are value. But when you're just like all the others out there, there's no value in that. Just saying. If everybody was the same, there's no value in that. Just saying. But salute to, I forgot her name, Alexis. I think that's her name. Salute to her. My bad. Olivia. My bad. Olivia Alexis. Shout out to her. Let's continue.
They don't realize what's waiting for them at the end of an exciting 10 years or so. They're met with a ruined reputation and a slaughtered self-image, All of their encounters with men has led them to believe that all men want is one thing and that all men are the same, because her perception of men is now extremely skewed. For men who are looking for a woman to date or marry, understand that if her past is a trail of failed relationships and one-night stands, it's safe to draw a few inferences about whether or not she's really even worth your time. Women bond with the man they sleep with, and they develop an emotional connection, which is absolutely necessary from an evolutionary perspective. But this ability to bond stops coming into fruition when she repeatedly treats as nothing more than a physical need to fulfill, with absolutely no emotions involved.
Kind of like what
Now,
men
this
do.
lady has some strong.
Absolutely no emotions involved.
Absolutely. And that's kind of what you see us men do. Remember, as men, we can have sex with a woman without the emotional attachments, because I don't know, I guess by nature, it's just a physical release for us. I mean, women are already masculine as it is. Shit. He says, salute to her. Yep. I mean, a lot of women today are more masculine now than they were 25, 30 years ago. At least back then, you had a small number of hyper-masculine, hypersexual women, but now they're more in abundance. And that's a good point, too. They're trying to sleep around the same way we men do. It's like y'all trying to compete with us men. Stop trying to compete with us and compliment us, for goodness sake. Just saying, fair use.
Now, this lady has some strong points. She's saying, like, listen, women are not designed to go from man to man, because if they do, they're going to lack the ability to pair bond in the future.
Yep.
And so when you're in your phase, what you're doing is you're diminishing your self-worth or your worth to a man, because if all of these men on your track record, whether you dealt with them sexually or not, but if you have dealt with them sexually, you have now diminished your value. So I said, look, let me think about this as, you know, not a man that's from the manosphere community and just coming down real hard on Ayesha Curry. Well, let me think of it like this. I'm now 44 years old. If I was 24 years old in
He's 44, so this man got 3 years on me. Salute to O'Shea Duke Jackson. Okay.
a man wanted to get married to his wife, what would I tell him? I'll tell him, hey man, before you get married, you probably want to get it out of your system. What does that mean?
Yep, there we go with this. So do y'all think there's a double standard when it comes to this? I mean, we tell women, wait for the right man, but we tell men, get it out of your system. I mentioned earlier, you know, with the Lucky Marie video, if I tell a man, get certain things out of your system, I'm not talking about fucking a bunch of chicks. If he wants to do that, fine. I'm not going to encourage that kind of shit for a man that claims he's in love with a good woman. I'm just saying, do the things that you wanted to do prior to marriage, because once you settle down with a good woman, you may not get the opportunities. You want a mountain climb? Be safe. You want to do a BMX? Be safe. Want to open up your own self-defense dojo? Hey, by all means, go for it. Whatever you want to do before marriage, go for it. Get that out of your system. It shouldn't involve having sexcapades just before you get married. Just saying. But what do y'all think? Let me know what y'all think. Aaron Lawrence has 100. Aaron, you got a lot to say on this. Please hit the link and let's talk about this. Don't be shy. I won't bite. Don't believe me? Ask Amira. She'll tell you I don't bite. I may bark every now and then, but I don't bite. But let's continue. Let me know if you can come up. That's cool. If not, then hey, it is what it is. All right, let's continue. Fair use.
Well, you might want to go out there and clap it up. You might want to go out there and experience who you are as a man, deal with different women. And then once you get to where you are, you will understand that it's not really worth it. And you will settle down with one woman that you can stand. Got it.
Uh-huh. And that's kind of what you see women doing. It begs the question, are we in the wrong for encouraging men to go out here and explore their options? But yeah, we want to come down on women for doing the same shit. It makes me wonder. Is there a double standard associated with that? But then again, like I said earlier, a man fucking around is not the same as a woman fucking around. A man could fuck around with different women and have no emotional attachments whatsoever. And a woman, if she fucks around with different men, she's going to have too many attachments to multiple men. So it's not the same dynamic. Biologically, it's not the same for women as it is for men. It may not be healthy for both sides to do this, but the aftermath and the effects are not the same for both men and women. Just saying. It's honestly not the same. And let's be honest here once again before I continue with this video. A lot of y'all women do not want a man who's sexually inexperienced. If he's still a virgin or has a low body count, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to respect that man. Chances are you're not going to respect the man that has little to no sexual experience. And another thing is this, like Ayesha Curry said in the interview, when she met Steph Curry, he already had women gunning for him or checking for him, and that kind of made him more attractive to her. So y'all want the men that other women want or have been with, possibly. Y'all want the men that other women like. She said she's not at home right now working but on break. Okay, I understand. I'll be at work too sometimes being on these panels, so I understand. And just hop on and off. I understand. But anyways, he said women are crazy. Yeah, they really are. Some of them anyway, yeah. Some of them really are. But like I said, half of y'all don't want the man that hasn't been around the block or hasn't explored his options, because it makes you wonder, why am I the only one checking for this man if no other woman wants him? So maybe that's a double standard, or maybe that's just a biological programming. I don't know. A biological setup. Men want women with the lowest body count and lowest amount of men coming for them, while women want men that have a high number of women finding him attractive or going for him. It seems ass backwards in hindsight, but maybe it's just a biological programming. I don't know. But anyways, fair use.
That's what I would say. And most of us would tell other men this. However, I'm not a woman. So is there some curiosity out there for women? I believe that just like men, women want to get it out of their system. They have needs, sexual needs. They need to find themselves. So if I need to find myself as a human and as a man, I can understand a woman doing that. But here's the problem, though, that women just don't understand. If I have 100 women in my life, but I'm successful, I have money, and I have built myself up, to a woman, that might be even more attractive because, number one, it may have meant that, well, this guy is more valuable. Two, he may or may not have a level of sexual experience. And, you know, hey, he has some level of things that he can deal with me, and he's the desirable man. This is
exactly. That's what I said earlier. That's what I said earlier. Women find more value in men who are attractive to who other women find physically and sexually attractive or have been with. Like Aaron, for example, you met a man that other women in the neighborhood find attractive, possibly because they've either interacted with him or been with him sexually. You may think to yourself, I got something that other women want. You got a man that other females want and wish they had. So you see more value in that. That's why our value is determined by how many women we've either been with or have attracted in the past. Compare that to the man who attracts little to no females and gets little to no female attention. You're not going to see the value in that, honestly. I might be wrong for some of you ladies, and I hope I am in this case. Yeah, but that's just how it is, how most women think. They want the man that other women possibly want. So maybe it's not the same for men to get that kind of shit out their system, but for women, it's different. Okay, Aaron also says double standards aren't always bad. We get plenty of benefits because of double standards. We get rescued from fires first into places of cheaper or free. It is what it is. Yep, that's true too. Y'all do get saved first. Women and children always come first. When we're doing rescue missions and stuff, women and children always come first because they're considered the more helpless, the weaker vessels, for lack of a better term. Yep. And I can't say that's a bad thing either. But let's continue. Fair use.
It's not to say that every woman thinks like this,
nah.
But if you can look at every guy who has a lot of money.
And another thing is this, not every female feels that way. Yes, y'all want the men that other women want, but at the same time, you got some women out here who feel the opposite, because you may not want to deal with a man that other women want because you feel like, why should this man settle for me knowing he can have other women in his rotation? He can easily replace me. Why be with someone like that, ladies? Ladies, why be with a guy that's so wanted and desired physically by other women that he sees you as being expendable? He sees you as being replaceable, kind of like how women see men as being expendable. But fortunately for y'all, that's only a small percentage of men, and those men don't want to settle down anyway, or at the very least, they're not in a hurry to do it. So yeah, why deal with a man that every woman wants, knowing he's just gonna look at you as being just another female of physical interest? Just saying. But let's continue. Fair use.
Who has a lot of women or has had a lot of women. Most women will not say, well, you know what? I don't want to deal with him because he has so many women, or a lot of women want him. You'll get that sometimes,
yep,
but not all the time. But if you flip it to what a man can understand, if a man understands that you have many men, and of course, this is why women lie about body count. Why do women lie about body count? Because no woman wants to go on to a man and say, you've had 47 dudes. The reason why women don't 47 dudes.
Why?
The reason why women don't tell the truth and they say 47, but now they say 4, is because they know that their worth is tied to their body count.
Yeah,
And
no
men
shit,
do
Sherlock.
not like phases, all right? Because one thing about phases, if you were yesterday, you're probably a today. We can look at Brittany Renner, which I got tricked because I thought, like, well,
yeah, Brittany Renner, the same female who tried to convert to Muslim, but that didn't work out. Married to Kevin Gates for like a couple of months, and that didn't work out. So I guess she couldn't reform from her 304 pass. And it begs the question, can a 304 be reformed? You see what happened to Brittany Renner, tried to be all Muslim and shit, but that didn't work out for her. Now did it? All right, let's continue. Fair use.
Maybe she changed her life. Well, she tried to change her life, but a tiger doesn't change their stripes.
They don't.
And so if a man thinks that you were back then he feels like that's just who you are.
Absolutely. What you were back in the past may affect what you're gonna be in the foreseeable future. In this case, yes.
If you're a woman and you're not, because that's not who you are, then you're not interested in just being with any man.
Right.
You're interested in being with the man that you want, or one man. And that is what is respectable.
Yep.
Now, Ayesha Curry seems like she missed out, and it's okay to seem like you missed out. I know a lot of guys have been married or with a girlfriend for a long time, and they feel like they missed out. And some people do not feel like they missed out. It just depends on the person. I had a biochemistry instructor.
I mean, that's all well and good when you're single, but when you're do what you want when you're single, but when you're married or in a relationship, all bets are off. And besides, who says you got to miss out on anything just because you're in a relationship? You can still go out and have fun with your significant other. We always tie this missing out narrative to having multiple partners and sexual experiences with different people. It doesn't always have to be like that. I mean, people are going to do what they want to do regardless, but it doesn't always have to be like that. Just saying, fair use.
In medical school, he was probably one of the brightest guys in Poland. He had every opportunity to leave the city that I was in and go to Germany or go to the UK and teach, or even just.
Okay, Aaron Lauren also says, can't turn 304 into a housewife. It's like how a woman want a man to, excuse me. It's like how a woman wants a man who's put together but still a thug, huh? No, exactly. But the funny thing is, Aaron, they want men to change up for them, but they don't want to change up for us. If I was a thug back in my teenage days, you meet me, you want me to stop being a thug, right? Well, understand something. If I was a thug when you first met me, don't anticipate me to change up just for you. If I'm going to reform from my thuggish behavior, I'll do it for myself first and foremost, not just for you. I've always believed you got to let people change for their goddamn selves first and foremost, not just change for somebody else. So yeah, if this is how it was when you first met me, I'm going to carry that on into our relationship. Can you deal with it? Yes. If not, cool, whatever. It is what it is. You can't change nobody. We can't change women and y'all can't change us men. Just saying. We got to change for ourselves first and foremost. Stop relying on our partners to bring out that change. I mean, they can motivate you to change, but they can't be the sole reason or sole source of your transformation. Just saying. Fair use.
States. And he said he was fine where he was. And this guy was a PhD medical doctor. He's one of the most brilliant lecturers I've ever seen in my life. Like when he walked in the door, I mean, you were just amazed at his knowledge. But that just wasn't him. He was not, and still isn't, interested in more for himself. And maybe that could be some people in relationships. But Ayesha Curry definitely was. And the reality is that if Ayesha Curry did go through her phase, Steph Curry would have never wanted her.
No.
That's the reason. The reason.
I mean, being a big time ball player probably attracts plenty of 304s or women for the streets. So she'd be no different than the rest of them. Just saying, again, scarcity equals value. But when you're the kind of woman that's been around the block with multiple men, you have no value and you're not very scarce, honestly. In this case, in this day and age, they're not very scarce. Just saying, fair use.
Why he committed to her at such an early age is because she didn't go through it. If she had went through a like these women are suggesting, then she would have ended up like them, which was with nobody and broke. As the great economist.
Yep. I mean, come on. She's married to one of the best damn ball players out there. I mean, he ain't Michael Jordan or anything like that, but he's a good ball player. And she got married young. Like I said, best to get them while they're young. Don't wait till they're old, set in their ways, and then start talking about marriages and relationships. And I say that to women as well as to men. Don't wait till you're damn near 40-something years old. Now you're talking about you want a committed relationship. You should have got there when you were in your 20s. Past 35, you should stop asking for things you wanted when you were younger in your 20s. Men want youth, beauty, and fertility when they're younger, but when they're older, they should start looking at other things outside of youth, beauty, and fertility. I mean, a woman could look beautiful at any age. So if I'm 35 years old, for example, a female over the age of 30, she's still going to have some kind of youth on her side and some kind of beauty, but she may not have fertility. But then again, if she's 30, she may have some fertility on her side, but trying to date within your own age range can be harder than you think because you still want the same things you wanted when you were younger in your 20s, especially if you're a single man with no children. You still want that. You still pine for that. I just say, nah, let it go. If you get a female that she can't reproduce, it is what it is. I ain't going to judge y'all. I'm not going to judge you because I don't expect her to be able to have kids past 35 or 40 years old. She's 35 or older. I don't expect her to be able to give me kids anyway. So it is what it is. So stop asking for that shit when you reach a certain age. Yeah. Aaron Lauren also said it seemed like she's got one of the good ones. I've never heard any Steph Curry scandals. She is the scandalous part of his life. That's a good point too. I've heard plenty of scandals from other athletes, whether it be basketball players or football players, but I ain't heard nothing on Steph Curry. His wife, on the other hand, that's something different. But Steph himself, I ain't heard shit bad about him, honestly. So that's a good point. Let's continue. Fair use.
Thomas Sowell once said, "There are no solutions, only trade-offs." Again, there are no solutions.
No solutions, only trade-offs.
Only trade-offs.
Damn.
And once you understand that, it all makes sense. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson. Back at it again. Another episode of.
Well, that's the video. Well, that's the video, ladies and gentlemen. What did y'all think about that? He said there are no solutions, only trade-offs. And if anybody want to come up, feel free to do so before I shut the stream down. I really appreciate y'all showing y'all support and showing y'all love to the channel. Taking time out of your Sunday morning, well, nice evening, excuse me, to come up here and show your boys some love and give your thoughts on this kind of thing. Really, 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 really appreciate it. She said, I agree. O'Shea Duke Jackson makes good videos. Yeah, he does. And like he said, there are no solutions, only trade-offs. So I guess if you're going to get married, you got to decide what you're going to sacrifice, what you're going to be willing to give up. I'm not saying give up on every goddamn thing because I've heard stories of people who get married and still get education, still get degrees, still fulfill their dreams. It can be done. My question is, do you have the patience to work around that kind of shit? But maybe it is a good idea to do all that stuff before marriage, especially when y'all start having kids. That's something totally different. Especially when y'all start having kids. That's when things really get rocky. I want to say do all the stuff you want to do you know, before you start having kids. It ain't so much about putting off marriage to do all these things. I'm saying wait, at least do all that stuff before y'all start procreating, having kids with each other. Because when they come into the picture, it's a whole new ball game. Now you got to spend money on not just yourselves, but on the kids as well, paying for their clothes, their food, for them to go to school, yada yada yada. You're gonna be up to your kneecaps in debt trying to take care of these little rugrats until they turn 18. Yep. So best to do all that shit before you start having kids, at least. Yeah. He said, great stream. I'll replay the first half when I'm done here. Okay, fair enough. Well, fair enough. Aaron also said, oh, damn, my bad. She also said one day her kids are going to see that clip of her saying she didn't want to be a mom. Shameful. Oh, my God. That's a good point, too. That's why I tell people, watch what you say on social media, because you don't know how they're going to discover this shit, what people are going to say about it. Imagine you're a child, then 20 years from now, you go on social media and discover your mom having an interview, or you see it on television, live television, or you see a television interview of your mom saying she never wanted to be a mom. Imagine what that's going to do to you. You're now 18, 19, 20-year-old self. And I don't know about you, Aaron, but me personally, I'd rather these kids discover these things the way we did when we were younger. Stupid and scooping. Meaning you go searching through all the things, searching through some of your parents' old relics from their past, from their childhood days, and you'd be like, this is what mom was doing. This is what mom and dad were like when I was younger. Same thing with these platforms. I'd rather your kids discover this kind of content when they're between 18 and 25 years old, or at the very least, maybe in high school. Then try to be exposed to this stuff when they're still in primary school. Just saying. That's how we did it. We found out this kind of stuff later in life because we had the maturity to understand some of this or how to deal with it. She said, right, 100. So that's a good point as well. What are her kids going to think when they're all grown up and they see this kind of shit? That's why I say you have to watch what you put on social media, because you don't know who the hell watching or may watch it in the near future in this case. But anyways, that's all I got for today. Just wanted to do those quick reactions because that was interesting. Shout out to my girl, Lucky Marie. I wish people could have come up on the panel to talk to your boy, but it is what it is. I still had to put on an amazing show for you guys. So I guess at this point, I'll just hold on a minute. Where is it? So I guess I'll just give my final thoughts. My final thoughts on this. As far as Ayesha Curry is concerned, she should be happy she has a man. You know, there are women out here twice her age still talking about, I want to find a good man. I want to get a good man. This bitch, you 40-something years old. You should have got that shit when you were still in your 20s. This is not to throw shades at older women or older men for that matter, but I'm just saying, why pine for something that you should have got when you were younger in your 20s? Now you're 40s, set in your ways, can't be told anything. You still want the same things you wanted when you were younger in your 20s. I don't want the same shit I wanted when I was in my 20s, as far as a relationship is concerned. I'm okay with getting with an older woman that might be older, might be set in her ways, might be, had a partner or two prior to me. But at this age, I expect you to have partners before me. So, hey, and since it's considered shameful for older men to want younger women, don't get mad at me if I prefer older females who, as people like to say, have hit the wall in some shape, form, or fashion. Don't get mad at me because of that shit. If we're supposed to date everybody within our own age range, we got to understand what comes with that. Little to no youth, maybe some fading beauty, but probably no fertility. And I don't mind that shit. I honestly don't mind that. I don't care about that at my age anymore. Having kids, wanting a family is a done deal for me personally. Just be a good woman, and that's it. Be a good woman that can turn me out sexually, and then we're good to go. That does not mean I want you to be a sex object for me. No. I want you to be a good woman for me. All the other shit that we used to want when we were in our 20s is done for, unfortunately. And she said, right, too many females are not feminine. Oh, wait, hold on. That's an old one. My bad. H&M wants a cougar. Even if I did, what's the problem? And Aaron, for the record, I have a history of dealing with older female. I was 29 dealing with a 36-year-old. I was 27. She was 30. This one was 32. I know that ain't too much of a stretch, but hey, it is what it is. I prefer females my own age. Man, fuck them 20-something-year-olds. I don't want them. I could be your goddamn father at my age, so I don't want no 20-something-year-old woman who still want to go to the club, twerk, and drop it like it's hot. I'm through with that kind of enjoyment. You're going to drop it like it's hot, do it for me in my house or at a motel room. Not you, your girlfriends, and 50-plus men in a big building dancing to hip-hop music. I'm past that phase, so I don't want that shit anymore. So yeah, I prefer females who are at least 30 and older. The youngest I'll date is 30. The oldest maybe 50. I don't know. I just prefer women who are at the very least out of college, post-college age, like 20, 27, like 30 and older. I mean, I get you can go to school at any age, but still, I'm talking people who are no longer at the age where they should be in college, like 35, 36, 37. That's what I prefer. Females my own age in their 30s and 40s like myself. And I'm going to stand on that shit. But yeah, going through a whole phase is not something you need to do before you get married, especially for women, because now you can't settle down with one man because you got all these emotional attachments from your past. It's just not healthy for you. It's just not healthy. Unlike men who have no emotional attachment, still it's no healthier for them because now they don't know what the fuck they be wanting sometimes because they don't have the dick discipline to have an emotional connection with a woman. So it affects both of us, but just in different ways. Just saying. All right, that's my final thoughts. Let me see. Shout out to everybody that came by. Shout out to Almond Eyes for stopping by. Shout out to IB Woden. And finally, shout out to you, Aaron Laura, for stopping by as well. Appreciate y'all for being here and showing your love and support. Really appreciate it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'll have plenty more lives to come. And I'll make them equally entertaining. But I got to get up out of here, y'all. This is your boy, Hustler in Muscular, also known as HNM, dropping my gems, stomping harder than a pair of 10. And you know what I do, giving you the truth straight out the booth, hitting home runs like because that's what I do. Take care, y'all. Deuces.
This ain't Disney, this that crib dream. Witches fly where the shadows scream. Say goodbye to the light you found. You're now a ghost in Halloween Town. Welcome to Halloween Town, where the dead don't sleep. Witches in the shadows and the curses run deep. You can trick, you can treat, but you won't get out. Once you cross that line, there's no turning around. It's Halloween Town, where the monsters reign. Jack-o'-lantern grins hiding centuries of pain. So light that flame and spin that crown. Found a mask in a thrift shop, stitched in skin, put it on, took a hit, now the world's gone dim. Pumpkin glow through the mirror, then I slipped through the glass. Woke up face down in the graveyard of ash. Gargoyles perched on a bloodstained steeple. Benny driving by with a hearse full of people. Mayor got a grin, but his eyes ain't blinking. Offers me side, I know it's laced with something wicked. This ain't no kid flick, this is cursed dimension, where the spells hit harder than divine intervention. I see Marty on a throne made of bones and flame. So welcome home, Juggalo, I say your name. Welcome to Halloween Town, where the dead don't sleep. Witches in the shadows and the curses run deep. You can trick, you can treat, but you won't get out. Once you cross that line, there's no turning around. It's Halloween Town, where the monsters reign. Jack-o'-lantern grins hiding centuries of pain. So light that flame and spin that crown. You belong to the night in Halloween Town. Marty ain't sweet, she a death-born witch. Summoned up the ghosts of 1,000 snitched. Cromwell bloodline turned cold with rage, turned kids to wolves and lock souls in a cage. They say the town's alive, streets pulse and moan. Storefronts bleed and the clocks throw bones. I tried to run, but the sky went red. Heard my own name whispered by the living dead. Calabar's back as a cloud of smoke, whispering hexes while I nearly choked. But I spit one verse and broke that seal. Now the magic in my chest feel hella real. One by one they all all fall down. A jester laughs in Halloween Town. Flesh turns wax and teeth turn black. If you hear that chant, you can't come back. The cauldron boiled, my fate was set, but I flipped the curse. Now they call me a threat, tore down the manor with bars like fire. Now I wear that pumpkin crown, climbing higher. Skeletons dance when I snap my hands, I rewrote the script. Now I rule these lands, not trapped, I adapted, became the dark. Now the witches whisper when I walk through the park. Halloween ain't once a year, nah, it's a state. And I open the gate with a jug of fate. If you knock on the door, best come with sound, cause the party don't stop in Halloween Town. Welcome to Halloween Town, where the dead don't sleep. Witches in the shadows and the curses run deep. You can trick, you can treat, but you won't get out. Once you cross that line, there's no turning around. It's Halloween Town, where the monsters reign. Jack-o'-lantern grins hiding centuries of pain. So light that flame and spin that crown. You belong to the night in Halloween Town.